Guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. So yesterday night it was a good amount of rain, so I was able to collect some water. Ideally during the monsoon season, as I said, I don't use any tap water or old water. I tend to collect as much as rainwater as possible. This is almost done because I'd used the water, but this is left. So I wanted to show you how I tend to mist my plants, because I keep talking about it that I mist my plants during the afternoons. Now for that, I have this 1 liter bottle. This you can find in any nursery. You can even find it online. If you're not finding it in the nursery or in the garden center, I'll put the link in the description below. You can check it out. This bottle comes in very handy. Now it's been almost 3 months that I'm using it. Initially I thought probably it might not work after a month or so, because I was quite skeptical about it, but luckily it has been doing quite well. It has been working out fine, the same way like the first day itself, the same amount of pressure. It's been working out really well, and it has been very handy, especially watering so many plants. So there are a couple of modes in this. All you have to do is just turn this around. I'll fill the bottle and I'll show it to you. So this is the knob over here. This is what you can change. You can change it into a misting form or a regular watering or spray water, anything that you want. I prefer the last mode, which is the misting mode. So let's first fill in this bottle with the water. So give me a minute. So now that the bottle is filled, you have to ensure that the cap is very tightly fitted, because this is a pressurized bottle. So in order to start this, you have to first pump and create the pressure in this bottle. So first I will go with the regular one, that is the watering mode. And the best thing is that it has a locking system as well. So either you can just push this and use it like this. So this is the first mode wherein you get water like this. So this is for a regular watering. As the pressure decreases, you have to pump and you get water like this. And this is where it locks. So if you're going to move it, it'll close. You have to just press it. So now this mode I usually do not use. I prefer the misting mode when I completely close this valve. So this is the second mode. You can see this is how the water comes out in the second mode. And if I'm going to turn the mode like this, now you can see it is going to be in the misting mode. Again, I'll fill in the pressure and I'm going to show you the misting mode as well. So this is the misting mode. I will completely close the valve to the last left hand side, and now you can see this is the misting mode. So this is what I usually tend to use. Very light mist. I'll show it to you on the plants as well. So this is how it tends to work. The moment you feel that the pressure is getting less, you have to again pump it up. So now coming to the plants, I will push it down and lock this button, and then I have to just hold this and mist it. You can see this is how I tend to do the light misting. Hold it again, put some pressure in this, and there you go. So this is the light misting. Very easily tends to work out. So this is how I tend to mist my plants with this, and it tends to work out really well. Initially I used to use the regular misting bottle, which we use it for our hair, when we tend to mist, but those bottles don't tend to work out really long. I'll show you one. So this was the one that I had earlier, which you have to press, and it was becoming very difficult to mist so many plants. So this happened to work out really well. I don't have to keep on pressing it. All I have to do is just press this button and lock it, and then it does its own work. All I have to do is just maneuver the bottle around to give a proper mist to my plant. So that's how it tends to work out really well. I'll show you the other mode, wherein the watering mode, as I said, if you turn it a little bit, then you're going to get this water like this. So then you can water your plants like this. I don't like this because a lot of times what happens is if there is a lot of pressure, the soil will also fly out. So you have to be a little bit careful while watering it. Don't put in too much of pressure, just a little bit, and you'll be able to water them like this. So this also tends to work out really well. Again, you have to just pump in the pressure, increase the pressure, and very gently. Don't put a lot of Don't open it completely, otherwise there will be a lot of pressure of water and the soil will fly. So you have to be a little bit careful and just water them like this. It can reach to places, let's say that you're not able to reach out anywhere. If the pot is quite far away, I think this bottle also tends to work out really well in that way. So even if the pot is very far, it can reach to a great extent. And if you're going to put a lot of pressure, then this is how it's going to come out. So if you have very large plants and you're not able to reach, then this is how you can do. And even with this, the leaves also get cleaned and it also gets watered. But only thing, as I said, the soil will all fly away if you're going to put in a lot of pressure. So that's why very rarely I use this mode. I only use the misting mode. Another important thing, guys, what I wanted to share is I don't use tap water for this. This is rainwater, or I use old water. Because if you're going to use tap water, then there will be a lot of watermarks on the leaves, which we don't want. It all depends upon your location. In my location, I have a lot of hard water, and hard water tends to leave a lot of watermarks or stains on the leaves. And then again, cleaning them is a big mess. Even after you wet it out, once the leaves dry, the watermarks will still stay. So always it's better to either use old water, drinking water. If you have a small garden, of course you can use drinking water. But if you have a large garden, using of drinking water is almost impossible. So it's better during the monsoon season, collect as much rainwater as you can. And otherwise you can just use old water that has been sitting in a bucket or in a drum for 48, let's say 24 to 48 hours. And then you can use that water. So it tends to work out really well. Hard water is always going to leave those watermarks, and it tends to look very bad. The plant leaves tend to look very bad, and over the period of time, if the leaves are not cleaned, the leaves will start to have issues. They will start turning yellow because there's going to be a covering of that hard water minerals on the leaves, and which is not very good for our plants. So we have to regularly clean them as well. So I'll show you my monstera as well. You can see they're very clean. It's just this water, but if that is gone off, there won't be any watermarks on them because this is rainwater. Tends to work out really well. This also tends to get rid of any dust that is there on the leaves, so this works out really well. So if you are planning to get a bottle, I think this bottle tends to work out really well, and it kind of takes care of watering as well as misting. It's almost 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 because there is another mode as well. So it all depends upon how you want to water your plants. So if you're looking out for something which can make your life easy, then this is one of the bottle you can add in your collection. Of course, there are more instruments available in the market, battery operated, other stuffs and all, which are a little bit expensive. This is a more economical, and it also helps you interact with your garden as well when you're watering. So this tends to work out really well. You can also do a check. This also tends to work out really well for misting the poles as well. Let me show you. Let's say that you have a pole. Now, I did have a question sometime back that the soil does not dry. The soil is still moist, but the pole is completely dry. A lot of times we water the pole, and along with that, the soil also tends to get wet. But if the soil is already wet and the pole is dry, then again you can go with the misting method and just mist the entire pole. So in this way, the water will not fall into the soil which is already moist. Only the pole is going to get moistened with this. So you can do this entire thing. It takes a little bit of time, which is absolutely okay. Again, for this one as well, initially the water will splash everywhere, but eventually once the coir rope gets wet, even for that matter, regular moss pole as well, or sphagnum moss as well, you can go with the same method, and it tends to moisten the pole, which is very important for our aerial roots, because that's where our aerial roots tend to attach. And then you can just moisten the entire pole. There you go. So this tends to work out really well for our poles as well. So I'm going to moisten the entire pole, which takes a couple of seconds for it to get completely moistened, and in this way you do not have to be bothered that the soil will again get wet. That's about it, and we are done. So you can see it's pretty easy. Very versatile product you can get for your garden. Tends to work out really well. If you want, you can even add some liquid fertilizer in this when you're using it for the pole. So in that way you are moistening the pole as well as you are adding the fertilizers as well, because the roots will attach to this. So the roots can also take nutrients from the pole, because this is a vertical growing media, and tends to work out really well. So that's it. That's how my plants will attach its roots, because they will always attach on something that is moist, which holds water. So they will be able to absorb that water from the roots as well. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.